Okay, your body presence. Feeling. At that moment of saying that, I felt my feet actually on the floor, and I felt a little something in the spine, a little extra little line up there. I'm beginning to feel as I continue. I'm beginning to feel my breath. I'm noticing my breath. I was breathing before, I think, but now I'm actually feeling it, experiencing it. Okay. As I ease the eye, settle down more, be present here, making an approach on this doorway. A couple of simple tricks to map where you are. I'm using at this moment feeling. Settle. Easy. Head just jumped a bit. What are we going to feel for? Where are we going? Easy. So note if you get pushed back out to the thinking brain, nothing to do there. Thank you. Back here. Click here. Feeling. Feeling. There's a vague sense of a little bit deeper. Nothing I can put my finger on, but a sense of deeper, just sense. So I'm starting to get a little bit into sensing, a little early in the game. If you're still on feeling, quite all right. I'm starting to get a little bit into, I'm sensing that there's a deeper presence feeling. If you were to say to me right now, there's a quiet pool here, I go, yeah, you kind of sense, feel that. Again, not the heavy feeling. I can't feel the pool, but I sense this pooling out. Okay. Again, a doorway, and this is the doorway to your own world. Which probably brought, what's my own world? What's going to be there? Stop it. That's that. Come back here. We're going to enter into the world of more you, the more of you. You all know you're more than what you present to the world. You all know that. I'm somebody special. All right. You all know you're more. Okay. How am I more? What should I do? Stop it. Back here. Settling still. Doorway. Inner dimension. So this here is, if we settle here, we've got a standing figure here. I'll do the same thing standing after a couple of minutes. As we settle here, start to shift out of this heavier realm into inner dimensional, the next level, let's say arbitrary count, the next level. Okay. Where for me, it starts to just sense calmer, quieter. To some degree, there's some degree of okayness. I don't know why it's okay. It flavors okay. Now, what's yours? So recognize your own approach to this location, this doorway thing. Okay. Now, on a bad day when I'm really caught up in the world, it might take me longer to move from all that activity, the bitchy boss, whatever, It might take me longer to move from there to here. We've talked about this before. And I told you I used to practice. In Japan, it was easy to get drunk. That was part of the training. And I would wonder when I got drunk about this nice meditation space that I could usually get into. And I realized in meditating, coming home drunk and then sitting, lo and behold, I could get there, but it took me longer because in getting drunk, I was further out. So it took me longer to get to it, but lo and behold, it was still there. There's no rules like, no, you're drunk. You can't experience this finer dimension or the more of yourself. There's no such rule. I thought that was great that it was always there. If I chose to come out and go crazy, getting drunk or angry or whatever, and I would try it with different things. If I were angry at somebody or something, I'd say, oh, I'm angry. Let me try meditating now. Same thing would happen. I could get here and further, but it would take me a little bit longer because I had, for lack of words, gone out further getting angry. So after a while, I began to choose, if whenever I could control it, bad words, not to go out so far. I chose, whenever possible, to stay a little closer to home, to stay a little closer to this doorway. That was my choice. Okay. You do whatever you want to do. Okay. Maybe doorway with the sense of the next dimension beginning to open. Hang on here a moment. You all there? Doorway. Easy. Inner work. Inner sensing. Can I use that word yet? Inner sensing. Okay. Now, if in saying inner sensing, and I'm still feeling a lot of heavy body stuff, then I'm not quite there yet. Because I said the word doesn't mean I'm there. I'm just checking. Okay. Am I at inner sensing yet? A little bit of my attention is on feeling. Percentage is small, remember, everything's a percentage game. Easy. A fair percentage of this inner sense. Okay, so with a little practice, you can tell if your percentage is higher out here or increasing here in this beginning of inner sensing. Okay, like you should know where you're at in this, using this as a focal point. Don't know if that's the right word, but this doorway as a focal point. You ought to sort of be able to tell if you're out here a bit or way out there or getting close to here or starting to pass through. And we'll call that the next dimension. Okay. The next level. Come up with your own words. I like dimension. Maybe an open mic here. What's, for people that are there, what's your sense of this doorway into the next dimension of your world? Hang on. Mine again is much calmer, quieter. If you say pool, I say, yeah, it kind of feels like a pool for me. I'm telling you mine. Yours is yours. Bit of quiet is an easy word to say. Possibility to think. I cut it short. Not there. Back to here. Sensing through the doorway here. Yeah, very, very quiet. I'm hearing all kinds of quiet words like hush, be still, not bad. There is more stillness. So that's my sense of the passing through the doorway into the first stage, the first level of my world. Open mic. Tell me about the beginnings of your doorway, your world. Anybody? Just quick sense?
Bob.
Yep, go. We lost you.
Sorry, in
Go.
typical
Go.
times when I went to thinking mind, I would need to remind myself, oh, yeah, oh, settle down or whatever. I'd need words to get me back there. The gravity was already in that quiet, and it just, there was no need to do anything to return to the quiet.
And so you're talking about a pull down?
Yeah, no word, no reminder. Oh, you're thinking or get lower, whatever it was. It happened automatically, like gravity.
Okay. So I think he's got a little higher percentage of the pull part of it, the way he's talking. He just settle it a little bit and shoom, he's being pulled. It feels like gravity into this quieter or whatever you're feeling. Okay, fine. And again, I'm interested in the beginnings of your first dimension through the doorway. Uh, Through the doorway, what's your flavor? You're starting to enter into your world, your universe. What's your first sense? Somebody go.
My first word comes to mind for me, Sensei, is familiarity. It's familiar. I've been here before.
I've been here before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I'll flavor that. I've been here before. Yeah, and there's a little feeling like not quite home yet. It's not that strong home feeling that I've gotten later, but it is that familiarity.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, and it's almost comfortable. It's not quite your home feeling that we'll get after a little bit, but starting to have that sense to it. Oh yes, this place. Yes, I've arrived here. Ah, good. Somebody through the doorway. What's your first sense, dimensionally speaking, the beginning of your world? Somebody
It's Mike Sensei.
go.
My feeling is that it's brighter.
I missed that. Feeling is like it's
Brighter.
brighter. Okay, brighter. And what's the flavor? Okay, it's brighter. Brighter. And what's the flavor of it? You saw brighter. What's the flavor?
It glows.
That's it glowing. What's its flavor? Does it make you angry? Does it quiet you down? Does it hum
it's
you more alive?
It's more welcoming.
See, what I'm trying to do is, again, awareness, we're very aware. And a lot of people don't catch on to the experience of it. And that's what I was prodding you towards. I know you saw it, it was brighter. But the other important half is some degree of feeling it, experiencing it. Okay, and I still don't know if we got into that as full as I'd like to get, but that's kind of important. You sort of follow me, sort of, kind of, maybe.
Oh yes, no, completely.
Okay, all right. It's like that's what it looks like. Now I'm making up my own words. What does it feel like? If I were to, I don't know, inhale this totally, whoever I am now, what does it feel like? I know you saw it was a chocolate ice cream, but I want you to taste it. Okay? Because sometimes in just seeing it's chocolate ice cream, you haven't really caught the fullness of chocolate ice cream. Okay? So it's almost like you got to be a wine taster. Of course, it's a bottle of wine, but a wine taster would want to taste that one, compare it to this one. He's tasting it. He's partaking of it. Okay, right? Very, very important that you file that away, do something with that. Anyway, remember, one of our main problems in creation is we're heavy in awareness and very light on the experiential part, or what Sensei would refer to as mind body. Doesn't mean my thoughts and this body. It's not what that means. It's this great consciousness and this great stuff that is its partner. That's what I'm trying to get across with this. Don't forget the great stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Through the doorway, the beginnings of your realm.
Sensei, Linda Eskin from San Diego.
Go.
My feeling of it is that I feel relaxed and energized, like a breezy coolness, like I can see clearly. There's So there's energy without tension.
Yeah. And that, let's call it pool of energy, just for lack of words, is always there. So if you're saying, oh, I don't have the energy for whatever, if you want to, you just have to settle and tap that pool of energy to re-energize. Okay. Or you can say, no, I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap. Screw you. That's fine too. Whatever you want to do. But I'm saying this is here. Whenever you need it, you can go for it. It's available. So words like, I don't have the energy for that job are temporary words, or what's the right wording here? They're true at that level. But if you want to go into another level, they're not really true, or they're not as true. Okay. Yeah. Are we okay
Yep.
with that? Yeah.
Thank you. Got it.
So it's a
And
beautiful
so-
gift of your universe. Yeah, Lauren.
Oh, this is Patrick.
Oh, Patrick.
What I noticed was greater awareness of the objects around me and the sense of a potential for a connection with them.
Let's see. At this level, now we have a sort of a character. Then we had one on San Diego's too. A bit of a character thing, because she could see better, and he's saying, "Oh, I can relate to or have a relationship with other things." So at that level we're at, there's a bit of a character. Then the character says, "Oh, I can relate better with people or objects or something." Yeah. Okay. Cool. Are we okay so far? This is kind of a basic approach. We're using sitting and settling to here and now, whatever words you want to use, presence. As we do that, we're shifting out of the thinking brain, shifting easy, feeling easy, shifting sense feeling easy, settling, finer levels of sensing. Okay, so that should be naturally going on with your approach, something like that. Okay, so if in sitting to settle to quote meditate or do inner work, you're still thinking heavy about something, well, then you got to know you're not here yet. Okay. Is TJ kicked on yet, or is he not showing tonight?
He did just join.
He did.
I'm
TJ?
here, Sensei. Hi.
Okay. I'm talking here about this first settling. I'm using the word doorway into
Yeah.
the next dimension of the inner world. And I mentioned earlier about a push potential or a pull potential. You've got a bunch of meditators sitting in front of you. Okay. You're up there on the dais or wherever you are. And you notice after, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, when they should be more present here at the doorway, that some of them start getting a little antsy, and you're wondering, why are they moving now? By this, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever, they ought to be plunked here. But sometimes you see they're starting to fidget a lot, right? You've seen that?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And out of that whole group, there'll be some others, another percentage, who on this settling, they're suddenly doing that. They're nodding off. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if I were doing a workshop, I might be nice to those people and think, well, they just came in from Arkansas. They just got off the plane. They drove down here to Esalen or wherever I'm at, and they're tired. But sure as shit, they'll do the same thing the next day. They're being pulled. Okay. The fidgeters are being pushed. Okay. No big deal. I just wanted confirmation from Tisha about this.
Yeah, it's we sometimes actually have a term for that, Sensei, and it's called the hindrances. So people get pushed into the hindrances, either the agitation or the sleepiness. And there are other ones too. Yeah. So-
Oh, no. Oh, we have to talk. Give me a call about the other ones.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
just
talk
blank
about
at the
those
moment.
sometime.
Those are two basic ones. Okay.
Yeah, they are actually agitation and lethargy, sleepiness.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Anybody, any problem? Anything about this approach to the doorway, the beginnings of inner sensing? Again, the word sensing I might be using a bit early, but there is past the physical feeling, inner sensing potential. Anything on this approach to this doorway place that I may have missed?
Since with the word quality, equality, and that would be honesty. Would that be honesty? Would that be something?
I'm not sure where you're at. You're throwing words out at me. I'm not sure where you're at. I'm asking, on this journey to here, was there anything that confused you or made this what I consider fairly simple, difficult? So I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. It's definitely going from lethargy, which you said it, to being erect, like.
Okay. All right, you're talking about something else here. You're being pulled and you're getting lethargic. Okay, now we're talking about another piece here. I'm really not interested right now in that, but lethargic, through that dark quiet, there is a floor. Bing. From that floor, the next dimension starts to do its next beat, and you can ride that beat and wake up. Ha! I'm back. I'm here. Okay. I'm just wondering why that question came up with my question about the approach to here and now. I'm passing on you. Somebody else? Anything on this approach to here and now? Doorway? Yes, go.
This is Ariane. When you were saying, is there another flavor? And I was with your chocolate ice cream. I need like some bitter orange with that, because the chocolate ice cream alone makes me sleepy and the bitter orange wakes me up and lets me go through the doorway.
All right, so don't see. I just use chocolate. That was a throwaway word. I didn't ask you to experience chocolate ice cream. See, I'm showing you a pattern to get to your world. If there's no chocolate ice cream in your world, unless we're doing a group practice of everybody make believe there's chocolate ice cream here. We do that now and then. But this is your world. If there's no chocolate ice cream, don't try to find chocolate ice cream in your world. It's in my world, not your world. I just gave an example of something. I didn't mean for you to follow my tracks. You got to be you, baby.
Okay.
So forget everything you just said.
Okay, thank you.
It's your world. What's there for you? Examples I use like, oh, it's calm for me. A really quite heavy calm. In fact, I was even a little surprised. It's more calmness so early than I felt in a long time. That's interesting. That was me right now doing in my world. I'm not telling you guys to be calm. I'm just saying something is there. What's your sense of the beginnings of being in your world? What's your sense of yours? Well, you don't
Hey, Sensei.
misunderstand when I throw those words out as examples. They're my examples. You can go crazy trying to understand Sensei's examples. He had some way out of sight examples. That was him in his universe. You try to find the same things in your universe that he was talking about, you're going to go a little berserkers. You got that? Okay. Yeah.
We had someone.
Yeah, Sensei, it's Dennis.
Yeah.
I came to this, you had mentioned it, but it showed up really clear for me, this place of quiet.
Okay.
Because before I came here to sit and, get on here. There was a lot coming at me. It was
Okay.
really, really hectic the last couple of hours here at home.
Okay.
And suddenly it's all very clear right now. So I don't even remember that happening. And it's
Yeah. No, once you exist in these other worlds, I have to make an effort to remember how crazy I got or how screwed up it was. And that tells me I'm doing well here, because to get out of, let's say, calmness, to go back to uptight nervousness or whatever's going on, I have to really make an effort. It's not easily available. That tells me I'm much more percentage-wise very highly encased in level 1 energy dimension Nadeau system. Yeah, so that clues me in. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, that it? Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Eating up too much time. I want to do basically the same thing standing. Is my camera on? Yeah. Standing. Oopa. Okay. All right. We need more light. Feels dark. That's better. Okay. Okay. Again, the same. Here, the doorway is here. Now, I may be out here someplace. I'm thinking about a doorway or whatever. Okay. Easy. Easy, that busy eye. That brain, easy. With a sense of heading this way towards my body. There was a cute comment I brushed through. I happened to be skimming through the sports page. I'm not into the sports page, but I got to keep up with WADA, so I sort of skim it real fast. And some female basketball player, maybe the coach, I'm not sure, I just skimmed through. But the phrase there was, be where your feet are. Think about that or feel that. That's cool. Be where your feet are. You got this game going on, everything's busy. Don't get caught up in that. Be where your feet are, and this should work out. Enough on basketball. Be where your feet are. I like that. So approaching the doorway, what helps you to begin to head this way? And again, some days are push days, other days might be pull days. Okay. I just hang out here. Just kind of feel. I think I'm checking the energy, checking to see if it's a push and if it's strong push or if it's a pull. I'm kind of just checking out the beats. Easy. I begin to feel the body more. So I use the body feeling, shifting from thinking to the beginnings of body feeling to come more here. Okay. If I can't actually feel the body, but I can think about feeling the body, that tells me I'm not here. I'm not here. So I call those maybe road signs. As I begin to get out of thinking brain, easy the eye, I begin to feel the body. And as I say in class a lot, I didn't say it would feel good. As you begin to feel, you may feel the aches and pains and injuries you didn't even know you had. Some people right there run away from it. I don't want to feel pain, so they run off into awareness. But you're feeling, that's a good sign. Okay, easy. Then after a bit, it changes to finer level of feeling. And here, I don't notice the pain so much. They're a bit, but percentage-wise, I'm feeling more the beginnings of looser joints and things. Well-oiled joints I'm beginning that percentage is increasing, and my feeling of pain is much, much less. Remember, it's a percentage game. Easy. Heading to this doorway of here and now. Easy the eye. Feeling. Continuing. Easy, easy. Sense feeling or finer level of feeling. Finer level of feeling. Now, any one of these words might spark a push into what's he mean by finer level of feeling? I have to understand it. We're getting closer to more energy. So being pushed back into a thinking mind is quite natural. I just don't want to waste too much time with that or get caught up in the story of it. I want to continue this heading into my own world, my own finer dimensions. Okay? So learn little tricks to realize that's happening and pass on it. Find your own tricks to pass. That's that. Back to this. Easy. Here. There we go. Back here again. Feeling. Okay. Somehow to recognize this doorway flavor. And doorway is my word tonight. Make up your own word. Doorway. I'm beginning to feel sort of squared away. My feet feel equal, and my hands feel like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm starting to have a feeling sense of squared away. I'm not the most squared away guy in town, but within my own system, I feel much more squared away here. Okay. And so your sense of your doorway, and as we're more here, the ability of passing through the doorway into your, let's call it first next dimension of your world. It's inner work. Inner. I'll throw the word sensing out again. Inner sensing your world. I have just a quick, vague sense of a lot of energy someplace. I don't know if I felt it or just had an idea about it, but so noted. Okay, in my inner, pass through the doorway. Yeah, there it is again. There's a strong charge, kind of reddish, and it's kind of my spine, and I can kind of beginning to feel something happening here. Early in the game, but that's where I'm at right now. I settle down to the doorway. For lack of words, pass through the doorway into the beginnings of my own inner world. What's there for you? Don't duplicate mine. It's your world. What's in your world for you? Brad? What's in your world for you?
Support confidence.
Okay. So Brad is saying something in this first stage, this first dimension, this first level, feels supported. And I notice in being supported, I feel more confident. Okay. So he's starting to talk as the character in this world. Oh, this character, me, is more confident and I feel supported. Makes it easier for me to be confident. Okay. Was that long enough? Back to sitting. Yeah. Okay, so same format, but because we were standing instead of sitting, might have sparked a couple of things a bit different, but basically the same. Okay. Any problems on returning on that trip from wherever you were to being present, to approaching the doorway. That's good. Anything there, or how you recognize it was a doorway? I mentioned my version at the moment was kind of feeling squared away. Left, right, feet connected, squared away was my feeling. Anything on the trip to it or the doorway, talk to me.
Sensei,
Go.
Sean here.
Go.
Go ahead.
I really connect with the sense of posture and breath when you say here and now. And first beat, I notice that I'm generally leaning, or I've got an angle, I've got some kind of a little agenda thing going on. And when settling back down, you get a little bit more into the posture, more here.
Okay.
And then as time goes on, it
So
feels
you're
like
using, let me jump in for a moment.
Yep.
Posture framework, could I say?
Yep.
That's a
For sure.
framework. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then as time goes on, I feel less distracted by my own, I don't know, what do you call it? Machinations of the mind, my own trips, my own little angle on things.
Yeah, you're less apt to be going out doing that stuff because you're starting to establish at the doorway.
Right. But and as time goes on, I'm trying to become more aware of like the levels or gradations. And
don't be so fast.
It seems
yeah. Take your time.
It seems like though that it gets loud, that I distract myself in the same pattern. And it's like, oh yeah, there you go again.
Yeah, of course. Because as you settle, we're getting into more and more energy. And energy pushes. So if you've got a track and you're thinking about this, you say, no, I want to be here now. And then you start to open up and there's more energy, you push you back on that same track. So of course you're going to repeat that same old bullshit of the day. And it could happen again.
Yeah.
Of course. But what does that tell you? It tells you you're getting into more energetic, finer dimensions. How do I know? Damn stuff is really pushing. Okay. I better settle and open some more so I can, what's the word? Be present with it as opposed to being pushed out of it. So yes, all very typical. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Somebody.
Sensei, Linda here again.
Go.
I feel like I have space, like there's enough time, enough air, enough room.
So spacious. Okay, there's more room. First dimension. Spacious, air, room. Is there one word that would cover all of that? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I feel more free.
More what?
Free, like freedom.
Free. Okay. Yeah. And as I said to Dennis about energy or calmness. I said something, if you are pooping out, there's an energy pool to somebody, I forgot who that was. But for you, I take it feeling boxed in and squashed in and stuff. Don't forget, if you settle down, that area, freer, is open to you. It's there. It's there. Right? I love the gifts of the creation or the gifts that exist in your own universe. There's scads of gifts, and we're not, because we didn't know any better, uptight human beings. We didn't realize the gifts that are here. Okay, and as you continue this process and go finer and finer, wow, it'll blow your mind. What's there for you in your world. And the gifts that I get are different than Tej is a musician, amongst other things, but as a musician, he has certain gifts that include music stuff that I don't have. You can't talk music to me. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. I have certain gifts. You have certain gifts. We all have gifts, guaranteed. You can say, I'm a bad person. I don't have any gifts. No, if you're hanging out with that tight eye, bad person, then no, you're not going to be aware of any gifts, probably. You got to settle, hit the doorway, pass through, shift from thinking, feeling to sensing, and they'll start to show. And as you go more and more finer sensing, they'll show better. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. If it's good, what's the more of it? Okay, I'm reminding you something here. We have pizza tonight. And I'm sorry.
Did you get enough for everyone?
Yeah. He's too early. That was all about. Anyway, where the hell am I? Oh, you bump into something nice. What's the more of it? You're just tapping the first, I don't know, level of it, the first dimension of it. You can track it. Ooh, that was nice. Next, it should be nicer. Next should be even eventually, wow, fantastically nice. Okay. So if you like it, don't stop there. Oh, I feel good today. If you have an interest to do a little inner work, and if you feel good, what's the gooder? Okay. If you feel sweet, great. What's the sweeter? You can tap it. You can tap it. It's an interdimensional process. If it seems negative or bad, what is it really? It's impossible. What is it really? We covered that with the monsters. And you realize when you pass through into a finer dimension, they're not monsters, they're allies. Oh my God, who would have thought? So in a certain way, there's no such thing as monsters. Just go finer dimension, and the reality of that energy grouping that looked like a monster is not. So that's why I try to tell you these dumb things over and over again. I'm sitting and the snakes are biting me. I don't like snakes. I'm in a snake pit. What the hell? I'm in meditation space. What the hell is a snake pit? So I stay there. I'm at a feeling level because I can feel the little buggers bite me. Okay. Continue finer. Next click. Suddenly the snakes are smiling. I say, aha, the joke's afoot. And I continue, probably moving into finer, forget my pattern in those days. And they're not snakes, but they're spiraling like snakes, but they're energy spirals. I continue, and then there's a source at so far at this level of this beautiful lady, and she's the sender upper of these beautiful energy movements. Okay, but what if I had stopped that? Oh my God, it's a snake pit. It's horrible. What is it really? Let me hang out here. Let me not panic. Easy now, though. Don't panic. But it's snakes. Easy, easy. What is it really? Okay. So it's your call. That's something you have to do. I'm just trying to map it for you. And you may never bump into snakes. See, that's my universe. Okay. But whatever it is, it's going to work the same way. There's a finer dimension, truer dimension of whatever. Okay? Yeah. Doorway, world. Okay, anything on the approach standing to the doorway? Or anything when you went through the doorway about your sense of the beginning of the inner world, your universe, your sense was? Anybody there? Did I lose you?
Sensei, the sitting and becoming more familiar through the doorway with myself or self. Breathing got better, felt a more anchored presence in my body. When I stood up, rather than feeling going deeper, there was more of a sense of self energy emanating out from that familiar place. So there was a sense of energy coming from a familiar place of self rather than centering on a familiar place of self. I felt like I was emanating my own self energy. And I had this I just had this sense of potential. Like I could just go create. I could build something. I could.
Yeah. Go ye and build.
Yeah. That's what I do, but ready to go build a building, build a structure, design a structure. So anyway.
Also tells you in your world, being a builder is probably appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes, in your world, what is your job? Be a builder. Eventually, I ask you, what is your real job?
Right.
And eventually, well, this is very advanced. Don't use it early. I don't want to hear this word. What's your mission? But that's a very big word. I don't want to hear somebody, oh, my mission is to teach Aikido. Bullshit, that's a job. What's your real job? We'll bring up mission maybe eventually one day, or maybe we'll say eventually there's a mission for you. Okay. But it's pretty fancy level, so don't use that word early on me. I'll throw it out. Okay. Somebody, anything here? We got a couple minutes yet.
Sensei, for me, this is Patrick.
Patrick.
I was aware of the dynamic two-isms, left and right coming together, breathing in and out, up and down, center and circle.
Okay, and now are you talking about the approach or the doorway? Tell me where we're at.
It felt like a doorway to me, and that these things were all trying to surface and be a kind of a symphony.
Okay, so you're at the doorway. Now what? What? Say the same things again, I think. The word?
That these natural rhythms all sort of presented themselves, and it felt like a better state of being.
Okay, so at the doorway, if I might paraphrase you, I'm not sure. At the doorway, beat, da, and I'm using my sense of it. But how do you know you're at the doorway? There's a harmonious something happening here. Patrick sort of sounds like he's saying, there's a harmonious beat here at the doorway for me. Is that okay that I say it that way, Patrick? Or
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's well said.
Yeah. Yeah. So recognize your own doorway. Okay. Whether it's squared away or some kind of natural beat. Tom, I forgot what your doorway was. The doorway itself standing.
This is doorway of getting more into the familiar sense of self.
Yeah. Okay. As I touch the doorway plus a little bit. Oh yes, I'm at that place. It's familiar. So it's doorway. And I would say doorway plus a little bit.
Right.
Beginning of entry into. But whatever. Yeah. Okay. So you can all recognize your own. Have some way through experience of recognizing your own. Okay. So there's something basic. As Sean said, basic body framework. Okay, good. Simple, basic. You can recognize, experience it. And again, you have to experience it. And say, oh yeah, I know that it's body framework. So I'm already past it and I'm already in 4 dimensions. It's like, that's not an idea. You can start with an idea. I'm going to sit. What am I looking for? Framework. Okay, fine. Easy. Let it show itself. Because one day it may not want to show framework. It may want to show something else. So be open there. Okay. Are we okay so far? All right. I want to see if there's anything about that this work, this settling, being present, inner, finer, shifting from thinking, feeling, finer feeling, sense feeling, sensing, finer sensing. This inner dimensional work is you're in your own universe. How it lays out is yours. The qualities that are there are yours. Okay. Sensei said, Nadeau, I appreciate that you care that much for me, but it's you with yours, baby. I'm paraphrasing. It's you with yours. Okay. So like when I watch somebody, I'm not watching them to mimic them. I'm watching them to see how, in doing their process, what they touch in their system and how they handle it and whatever with it. Okay. Just to see their approach process. I'm not trying to mimic them because in a certain way, you can't, or you're lying to yourself. You're trying to be somebody and your whole system is going, that's not me. Be you. Okay. I know the first you is could be pretty dumb, stupid, horrible person. But as you get into finer, truer you begins to show. Okay, the mix gets better, the qualities are finer. That's the law of interdimensional work. It can't get worse. Okay, not really. There's a misunderstanding. But if you hang out, it should clarify. It can only get finer and finer and finer and finer. Okay. So, are we okay? Approach, was that too simple for you? Approach, presence, inner work. Here and now, then we begin to enter this next dimension, energy dimension. Remember to don't forget the experience part. It's kind of like very original. There was aware, I experience. Experiencing, I am aware. That this is a duality. The awareness can feel as it's minor, can I say? Feeling, or the body of it, heavy on feeling, but it has intelligence about itself as its second part of itself. So this is intelligent with some feeling, but not enough for great universal work, and vice versa. It has a lot of feeling with some intelligence about itself. Okay. When those two start to dance with each other, that's getting to be a wowzy. Okay. I better mention next Friday, we're going to take Friday night off. Here's what I would like you to do. One, it'll facilitate me. Where are you in your process? Is there any disturbance in your process that's holding you back or confusing you in this inner work process? I would suggest that you sit with your own question, hang out, get a deeper sense of your question. Please don't do, how many angels fit on the head of a pin, Sensei? I ain't going there. Okay. Or do angels exist? Like, what good does that do you? Who gives a shit if they do or don't? Okay. Doesn't do you anything right now. So certain questions, don't bullshit me. Okay. I'm interested in your actual practical, experiential process. Anything that helps, hinders, or is a little confusing, or something I touched on but not clear enough, please sit down, write it out. You don't have to use your name if you want to be shy. Lauren will tell you who to send it to or something, and I'll try to cover them in later weeks. So give me an idea of where you're at. Give me an idea if I've missed something. It'll be good for you to sit with your own question. Okay, can't go wrong doing that. That's what I do every day outside on my front porch. Question bubbles up, and then I go in her and play with it. Okay. So it's good practice. Anyway. Go
So
ahead,
Sensei, this is Lauren, and
Lauren.
for everybody who can hear the sound of my voice, I will send email out to follow up on what Sensei has just requested, and with more details about kind of repeating these points that Nadeau Sensei has just raised, and giving you some guidance on how to send it back. Thank you all.
Where's it going? Yeah, we've been at this over a year. First break in a year. Wow. That's hard for me, by the way. Take a break. But a whole year plus worth of stuff. I can't believe there aren't some questions or something that wasn't clear enough, or something you tried but tripped over, or whatever. And then you've had 16, whatever, a whole bunch of people laying out Aikido, CYO revisited stuff. There's a bunch of material we've tromped through. So should be able to come up with something. Okay. I'm pooping out here. Anybody, anything? Oh. Slippery couch. Anybody, anything before we finish up? Anybody has to go, feel free. Anybody want to hang out and bullshit? Go ahead. Kenny?
We haven't had a lot on the chat, so it doesn't seem to me like we have anything that urgent.
Okay.
I say we call it a broadcast.
Okay.
Don't let your pizza get cold.
I didn't hear that.
Don't let your pizza get cold.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Enjoy next Friday off, but do sit down and mull on your question. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Before everybody goes, so just to be clear, for those of you who have calendars, right? We're talking about no class on Friday, April 9th, but we will be back on Friday, April 16th. No class on Friday the 9th, but we will have class on Friday the 16th. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you,
No,
Lauren,
thanks, Bob. That was a great
and
session.
et cetera, et cetera.
Sensei, good one.
Thank you, Sensei. Arigato.